What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of The Chi. This is season 6, episode 10, and the episode is titled, Want This Smoke? Let's jump right into this review, y'all. So, I am not going to go scene by scene, just because I feel like it's a little bit easier if we, break it down by storyline. So, we're going to start this off with Victor. So, we see Victor, he's proposing to the council that they should have a mental health clinic on the south side. He talks about how if he would have had someone to talk to when he was younger, he may not have made some of the decisions that he did make. Now, as he's saying his speech, we see a flashback of some things from his past. And we also see that car that he was in, when Douda decided to off cue, they found that car, y'all. So, only thing I keep thinking is, baby, let me find out they got Victor prints and not Douda's. Because when I think about it, I feel like Victor didn't have gloves on, but Douda did. But I can't fully remember. Nonetheless, after that, we do see that Gemma's daddy, I can never remember that man's name. He's telling, what's his name, Victor, that he's doing great and blah, blah. Cool. Baby, here's what threw me off. Victor gets to his car, okay? Baby, before he can even start it up, somebody is in the car with him. The man done got kidnapped. Not kidnapped, he got adult napped. And we already knew who it was. We already knew. Douda and his people. So, Douda, he's thinking that maybe Victor was the person who shot at him. It's like, no, that wasn't him. And like Victor said, dude, if it was me, I would have hit you. Like, I would not miss hitting you. My name used to be Trig, my nigga. You know what I mean? My name used to be Trig, my nigga. But nonetheless, while Douda is questioning him and all of this, I will say, Victor, you can't get too big for your britches and try to attack somebody or hit somebody when you still tied up. Because, baby, he may have hit Douda a little bit. But, baby, when we saw Victor I said, oh, baby, Victor had a tore up eye. Like, it wasn't just like a black eye. It was like swollen shut. I was like, oh my God, that has to hurt, okay? So, later on, we actually see this little men's group, right? Y'all know Victor love his little men's group. They are talking about how Rashad is stressed out, okay? Because he got put out by Deja. Sir, you got put out because she found out that you cheated on her. Like, what did you want her to do? Like, she was already tolerating the fact that you didn't have a real job. You ain't got no money. Like, she was really trying to go out on a limb and love you for you. And then you cheated on her with Tierra. Baby, what you want her to do? Please move on. So, that was his little segment. Then we see, what's his name? Y'all, I can't remember his name. Lene's brother. I think his name is Michael. Is it Michael? Y'all, I could be loud and wrong. Vic Mensa, okay? Vic Mensa is there, and he still ain't got no job. Y'all, where is the storyline with him and Tracy? I feel like they dropped the ball. Because, baby, when he went down to that little rec center that they got, I can't even think of the name of their little crew. But when he went down there, he was giving Tracy the eyes, and she was giving the eyes back to him. I thought we was going to get a little love connection between those two, and we didn't. Where's the story at, y'all? I'm going to let it go. But what's bothering me, y'all, with this little men's group is that their only response is, how can we support you? It's 10 of y'all niggas around here, and can't nobody help this man with a job? Like, be so for real. The same thing with Rashad. None of y'all can find ways to help these men make money? Like, I know Darnell had his little handyman business, but hell, I'm still side-eyeing Darnell because you better tell me all you is this little handyman? Is Jada bringing in all the money? What's going on over here? Why is it that the men in this little men's group, half of them ain't got no jobs? Like, y'all can't find nothing. Nobody has any connections to help these men get into maybe construction or anything. Hell, Gemma Daddy, you should be well connected. You work in the city. Like, you should know some people. It ain't making no sense. But I'm going to let that go. Bakari, he's going and talking about he trying to figure his life out. Yeah, we know. Baby, Victor walks in, okay? Because he wasn't even at the meeting yet. He walks in with his best Viola Davis walk. I said, sir, what is that walk? So he come up in there, he all pissed off, because he done got his ass beat. And then later on, we see Victor and Rashad talk. Now, Victor is telling him about, what happened when he ran into Douda and how he got this messed up eye. And then you have Shad talking about the text that he sent to Deja instead of sending it to Tierra. And then this is when he lets Victor know, oh yeah, I hooked up with Tierra. I was like, damn, I kind of forgot that he didn't tell his boy. I guess. So then we see Victor talking to his advisor. I can't think his name. Quincy. I think his name is Quincy. And he's basically telling him, like, yo, you're going to have to take back your vote for defunding the police, because the way politics work is sometimes you have to renege on something that you said before to get something that you may want later. But Victor's like, no, I don't think that we need to stop on the track that we're going and all of this stuff. I'm like, all right, Victor, you better get ready to play these politics games, because that's all politics is. It's a bunch of grown people playing games. And it's a lot of I can scratch your back if you scratch mine. If you want me to vote for this, you got to vote for that. It's a lot of that in politics, baby. Because I understand Victor, he feels like, the community, it doesn't need police. But baby, listen, Smokey's just got shot up. What you gonna do about that? The police could have got involved in that. Because we already know who did it. They could have got arrested. But I digress. So later on, y'all, we see Quincy show up to Victor's house. And baby, who was with him? Leon. I said, come on, Leon. Now that's an actor. He is playing a lawyer. And basically, he's going to be helping Victor because, like I said earlier, they found that car and Victor's prints was there. I'm like, oh my God, how is he going to get out of this? Leon, you better be a damn good lawyer. Now, y'all, we're going to slide on over to Rashad because this episode is actually a little Rashad heavy. Now, we saw him and he was trying to pick up women at the club, which was hilarious. Because the first woman, she wasn't interested. Then the second one, she ran up his pockets, ordering steak. I said, no, I know. You ain't paying for this girl's steak. Well, you probably ain't never bought Deja a steak with your broke ass. I know that you're not buying this random chick a steak. And then you have this third girl who came up, and she just had a crazy ex. So that right there was a bum mission, because he did not get any ladies that night that was worth his time. So, at one point we learned that Rashad is sleeping in his car, y'all. He's sleeping in his car, and Darnell discovered this when Emmett ended up picking his kids up for the day. So Darnell basically had to talk to Jada about letting him stay. Again, I will say, Darnell is the guy who be picking up the pieces, baby. He be really trying to help these dudes. He ain't got much, but he do try to help in any way that he can. Some of these other ones who have the resources, I'm giving them a side eye. I really am. Jimmy Daddy. But I digress. So, like I said, Darnell had to convince Jada to let him stay there because she didn't want no other grown man living with her. And I get it. So, later we see Shad, he's with Darnell, and they go to fix a sink at Alicia's house. Baby, Alicia about to put the moves on him, okay? Alicia is about to be a man-eater, and she about to get her some of Rashad, okay? Because the whole conversation that they was having, I was like, oh yeah, okay, something's about to go down here. But then I kind of gave her a side eye because I'm like, girl, why are you trying to finesse this man out of his little shoebox money? Because he was basically saying that he don't really got money like that, and the way he saved his money is in a shoebox. And she's like, oh, well, I can hold it for you. Girl, he don't even know you. Why are you trying to hold his little shoebox money? Oh, give him reason to come see you? Okay, girl. So, y'all, we see this little men's group again, right? And Rashad is telling them how, oh, I broke up with Deja. And baby, the main person who wants to know why they broke up is Jimma Daddy. I said, sir, you don't want to know. So then this led to a discussion of who should pay the bills. Should it be the man? Should it be split equally? Blah, blah, blah. Quincy is like, okay, but what if you're in a same-sex relationship? Like, how does that work out? And the general consensus is everybody's household should do what's right for them. So, later on we see Rashad again. He tries to get Deja back with some flowers. Baby, she's not interested. Rashad, please move on. I know that you ain't got no place to lay your head, but you gotta cut it out. Now, keep in mind, Darnell put himself on the line with Jada so that way Rashad can stay with them, right? Oh, baby, Rashad's so desperate that he goes to see Alicia late in the midnight hour, okay? Talking about so he can go fix some locks for her. Fix some locks? Baby, you about to go break her back. You not about to go fix no locks. Cut it out. You about to be doing way more than fixing some locks, okay? But y'all, let's just go ahead and move on. We got to talk about Keisha and Emmett. So, we see them talking to her son and playing with him while they're about to drop him off at daycare, right? So, she wants to talk about the fact that Emmett has made some type of agreement with Douda, and, Emmett has to explain to her, like, yeah, he wants me to take out Rob's mom. But Emmett, for some reason, he thinks that he gonna be okay. He think he's gonna get out of this clean. I was like, Emmett, I don't know. Things are a little shaky. I don't know if you'll get out of this so clean, my guy. So then he ends up changing the subject on her, like, nah, we should go out. We don't ever go out. Let's go out. I said, okay, you know what? Yes. Because y'all are like, what? How old are they now, y'all? About 23, 24? Let's push it to 25. They are 25 living like 45-year-olds. Like, dead ass they are. I'm like, yo, can y'all go have some fun? Like, I get it, y'all grown, but y'all a little too grown. So, next we see Emmett and all of his kids at his parents' house because he needs a babysitter. Y'all, my real question is, where the hell is Darnell kids? Darnell should have some teenagers. Where they at? Jada, where your stepkids at, girl? Because I know you got some. But nonetheless, Jada tells Emmett that if something happens to him, she'll take care of the kids. And then he's like, Mom, you ain't even got to talk like that or whatever. Again, he still thinks that he got all his stuff in order with Douda. Now, keep in mind, before he left, his mama was like, yeah, and with you and Keisha, make sure y'all don't try to, bring home another baby. Keep that in mind, y'all. Put a pin in it. So later on, we see Emmett and Keisha, they at the club. And honestly, y'all, again, this was the first time I feel like we have seen them live like they are in their 20s. They're dancing in the club. They drinking. They having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Finally, let these kids have a little bit of youth. I mean, they're not kids, but hell, they only in their early 20s. Like, it's good to see them be young for a change. Who do they see in the club, y'all? Of all people, Dante. Dante is in the club. He bring them a bottle over. And you already know Emmett ain't really rocking with Dante. But the thing is, Dante ain't even checking for Emmett and Keisha like that because he got his own girl at the club. We see Candace, played by Reagan Gomez Preston. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been in love with her my entire life. Oh my God. She is so pretty to me. So they say, all right, well, we about to go to another spot. Y'all want to come with us? They say, yeah. I am hella shocked because, again, Emmett don't rock with Dante like that. Nonetheless, Dante talks to Emmett at the other spot about stepping to Douda. He's like, listen, if you gonna start something with that man, you gotta make sure that you finish it. And I completely understand what Dante is saying because Douda is not somebody to play with like that. Now, we also see Candace and Keisha. They talk about how she's basically, dating Dante. She ain't tied down to Dante or whatever. Miss Mamas is just living her best life, okay? So Emmett and Keisha, they decide that they can't hang anymore, and they go home. They go home, they go watch a movie, and as they're laying there or whatever, having small talk, baby Keisha want to get into some things, okay? Now, he was the first one to be like, oh, let me go get some protection. And she's like, nah, just be careful. Baby, I don't have the energy. I do not have the energy for them to have a baby. I really do not. They have enough kids amongst the both of them. We really don't need another baby. Not yet. Not yet. But let's go ahead and move on. Y'all, we got to talk about Rob. Rob is walking in a parking lot, and Nook is behind him, gun pulled out, like, to the back of his head. And y'all, the way that he got out of that was the fact that Nook was like, hey, are you smoking that weed that you had before? Because y'all remember a while back, he let Nook hit the blunt and was like, oh, this is some good weed. Baby, Nook spared his life because he was in on the weed business. I said, well, wait a second. We might turn some things around here. Because if we could get Nook to turn on Doodah, we might be going somewhere. So, I forgot to mention that later on, we actually see Emmett. I don't know if Keisha was there, but Emmett went over to Rob and Tiff's new apartment, like where they're staying right now, just to kind of, make sure Rob lay low. And baby, it's nice. It's a high rise. It's real nice. Emmett is talking about the fact that he wants to buy Doodah out. I don't know why he keeps saying that as if that's just so feasible for him. Baby, you owe Doodah a lot. But nonetheless, like I said, he wants to buy Doodah out, and he wants to see if Rob's mom could help him out. Now, Rob is trying to explain, like, man, my mom ain't gonna help you because, hell, she don't even help me. But, baby, his mama came walking in that room when they were having that conversation and was like, oh, how much will it be? You figure out how much you need and let me know. I said, oh, hell no. Nigga, you already made a bad deal with Doodah. Don't make a bad deal with her. So, later on, we see Emmett and Keisha. They talk about how, Emmett's plan is to let Alicia and Doodah basically take each other out. And he think that he just gonna, escape free out of this. I said, I don't know about that, buddy. I don't know, Emmett. We gotta see. Now, Keisha is like, you know what? I ain't going to jail for you. I just want to let you know that. I am not going to jail for you. Now, circling back to Rob. Rob ends up telling Emmett that if he messed things up with Alicia, he gonna also have a problem with Rob. Because at the end of the day, nigga, we cool, but that's my mama. I said, well, I understand that completely. Tiffany, she's going on and on about how Keisha needs to sell this goddamn cheese dip. Now, keep in mind, this has been a running theme about how Keisha makes some type of cheese dip, and it's oh so fire, right? Baby, when Emmett said, well, I don't have the money to invest in that. Nigga, you can add it to the menu at Smokey's. What the fuck you talking about? Like, I am so confused as to why Emmett in that moment acted like he did not have a restaurant. It was given you did not want to support Keisha because her shit might blow up, low key. And like the fact that Tiffany had to remind him, like, nigga, you got a restaurant. You can sell that shit at Smokey's. What are you talking about? That was wild. Now later on, we see Rob. He's in there with the weed with Tiff. They got their stuff growing. And she's like talking about how, she ready to really expand this business. Well, here's the thing, sweetheart. Rob had to tell her, baby, we're going to be expanding, but we're going to expand with another partner because I had to let Nook in the business. It was either my life or let him in. And at the end of the day, baby, you want Rob around still. So, Nook is a business partner now. Now, y'all, let me go ahead and talk about Doodah real quick. So, this was a very quick little segment with him. I feel like there was not much. Because we saw Bianca and Doodah. It looked like they was on a cute little date or whatever. And she's complimenting him on all of his accomplishments. And I was a little confused because I'm like, You kind of pouring it on thick. Y'all think she gonna be on Alicia's side now? Because that's what it's low-key giving. I don't know. So, keep in mind, while they having dinner, baby, he's still texting Tracy. He still want that old thing back, and she's telling him, leave me alone. Baby, Tracy is really sticking to her guns this time about not messing with Douda. And you can tell that shit was pissing him off. So, that was pretty much it for Douda. Let's talk about these kids, y'all. These kids. So, Jake is having a photo shoot, right? Baby, his apartment is always so busy, and that's a problem for me. But nonetheless, he got these girls modeling or whatever, and one of the girls happened to be Kenya. You know, Papa's ex-girl. I'm just like, that's interesting that she's a part of this or whatever. But I get it, girl. Get your money while you can. Good for you. So, again, my mind started to think even further. Jake, please don't do Papa how you did Kevin. Please don't try to take his ex or girl or whatever. That's messy. Now, we move on from that, and we get into the studio, okay? Brittany is booed up with some girl. I said, baby, if they don't do nothing, they gonna cast a Gemma lookalike, okay? You got Tiara, now you got this girl. I said, why this girl look like Gemma? But nonetheless, speaking of Gemma, she's getting jealous because Brittany got some other girl in the studio. So she's trying to tell Brittany, like, oh, I want you to go recut this song or whatever. And Brittany was, baby, she was showing out. Brittany was showing out because she had an audience, because she was like, I'm not paying you to get on my nerves. Girl, what? This can't be real life. I said, I cannot take Brittany and Gemma serious. Clearly, there's some tension right now. Those two are definitely going to hook up at some point in this season. Now, moving on from that, we get Jake and Gemma. Now, when did they move in together? I'm sorry, but again, we got these 18-year-olds living like they 30. What the is going on? Like, I'm sorry, I just have to say this. I need for these kids to go to school. I really do. Because like I said previously, I think on the last review, listen, Gemma has so much potential of all the things that she wanted to do and go to the Ivy Leagues and all of that, just so that she can chase behind Jake and still cheat on him with Brittany. That's the goal for life. What the hell is going on? Like, Jake couldn't also go to school. Papa couldn't go to school. Maisha couldn't go to school. None of these kids can go to school. That's fucking crazy to me. And then you got these kids living together. Like, be so for real. Like, Gemma need to be staying at her daddy's house. Like, honestly, she do. Good God. But nonetheless, these two, they get into it because Jake is going through the photos of the people who took photos for his little photo shoot for the clothing line. And Kenya's photo comes up. So now Gemma got an attitude like, oh, I didn't know that Kenya was going to be taking pictures and you could have hired me and blah, 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 blah. So Jake's rebuttal is, well, you've been busy with Brittany and blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, God. I want y'all two to be young. Can y'all, like, go to the movies on a date? Can y'all go do something normal that, like, young kids do? Go on a date, please. I can't with y'all. And then when they got mad at each other and climbed in that bed, I said, oh, no. Y'all really acting like y'all about 35. Y'all going to bed mad? Really? What is this, honey? Well, we're going to go ahead and move on. Now, y'all, I've been wondering, where the hell is Lene? Y'all, she is in college. She's the only one in college. Okay? And again, that's a problem for me, but I'm going to let it rock. We see that Dwayne Wayne is her professor, a.k.a. Kadeem Hardison. So, baby, that man, he keep him a little job. Love this for him. One thing that I will say, did y'all look at the expression on Lene's face when she was sitting in that classroom? Looked like the girl got a bright future ahead of her. Look at how Maisha and Jim is out here looking. Okay, it's 3 steps away from depression. We need the girls in school. But we gonna go ahead and move on because Lene is at home. I thought she lived on campus, but I guess she's at home and Bakari is there. You know, she wants him to sit in on one of her classes and, you know, he ain't really sure about that. But she's really trying to show him that there is more to life than this little bullshit going on in Duda's crew in the middle of Chicago. Okay? So, one thing I will say is that I was a little confused after this, y'all. Because he went to the class, right? He went to the class. He sat in the class. Okay, fine. But then they ended up running into the professor. So they ended up running into Kadeem. I don't know what his title is or his name is on the show yet. They run into Kadeem. And first thing that was a red flag for me was Lene saying, oh yeah, I brought him to the class. I hope that's okay. Sweetheart, you should have asked first of all. And secondly, it's not okay because he's not a student there. So, next thing you know, Bakari mentions how, you know, that a book should be written because it's a story that hasn't been told or something like that. And the guy was like, oh, so you read my syllabus. Okay, so now the option is for him to tutor Bakari. Y'all, what the fuck is going on? Like, I know that this show was trying to do something, but I need you to be so fucking for real. This man is a professor, okay? You think he has time to tutor Bakari, who is not a college student, during the hours that he could probably be available to tutor actual students? That's a little weird, because Bakari is not enrolled in this school. I'm just saying. He don't even know Lene like that to tutor her boyfriend that he randomly just met, who happened to read the syllabus. That's a little weird. But the man agrees to tutor this boy. I'm like, hell, we don't even know what grade level Bakari is at, because the boy didn't finish high school. Hell, he probably dropped out in about 8th grade, but you won't tutor him? Shout out to you. Now, Bakari shows up to this tutoring session, but he shows up late. Now, the professor don't want to let him in, but Bakari, he hits him with the sad sob story of, man, I'm going to be dead or alive if you don't help me. No, I'm sorry, dead or in jail. That's what it is. I'm going to be dead or in jail if you don't help me. Okay. Bakari, you said that to a couple of people already. You still breathing. But nonetheless, the professor ends up giving in. They go into the room or whatever, and he gives him a journal. So that way, he can, you know, write down his inner thoughts. And he also tells Bakari that basically he needs to write out his story. Congratulations, Bakari. You just finessed the professor to be your teacher. Yeah. We'll see where that storyline goes. Y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to you on my next review. Bye, guys.